I wonder if people are recognising the story. I think we've heard parts of the story before when we've been learning about RME and Hinduism. This is now the fourth part of the story of how Ram defeated the demon king Ravan. Part 4, the search for Sita. There had been but one observer of the whole tragedy. An old vulture king who was sitting quietly in a tree. I am old and weak, he thought, but I cannot sit by and watch this wicked deed. He flew up from his perch. I am king of the air, said the vulture king to Ravan. Do not harm a single hair of this good woman, or I will attack you. Why don't you go back to sleep? It suits you better, Ravan answered. The vulture king did not have energy to waste on speech. He swooped down on Ravan's chariot, hacking away with his beak and claws at its balconies, at Ravan's head and at Ravan's horses. Blood dripped down Ravan's face, but the great demon drew out his sword and with one swipe cut off the wings of the vulture king. The vulture king fell, dying to the ground. Ravan's chariot of the skies continued with great speed towards the south. Sita, her hair streaming in the wind, managed somehow to slip off her jewellery and let it drop down to earth. Perhaps Ram would find it and see the direction in which the demon was taking her. Sita's jewellery fell down, 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 into the kingdom of monkeys and bears, where it was spotted by Hanuman and Sugriv, two monkeys who were sitting on a hill. It's raining jewels today, said Hanuman. With any bad luck, I'm surprised it's not rocks, said Sugriv. Want a banana? Asked Hanuman. Leave me alone, said Sugriv. I'm depressed. My evil brother, the Monkey King, has thrown me out of the palace. I think I want to die, or go to sleep at least. And this picture there of the two. Back in the forest, Ram and Lashman, realising at once that they'd been tricked, ran back towards their house. On their way, they passed the dying vulture king. He has kidnapped her, taken her south, the vulture king managed to say with his final breath. Ravan has kidnapped Sita. Ram and Lashman headed south. I cannot live without my Sita, said Ram in deep sorrow. We will find her, his brother Lashman encouraged. Soon they came across Hanuman and Sugriv, the two monkeys sitting on a hilltop. Have you seen a demon carrying off the fairest woman of this earth? Lashman asked. Are these her jewels? Hanuman wanted to know. Oh, heaven, said Rama. When Sita cries out in pain, who will be there to help her? I have no idea, said the monkey Hanuman. If you help us get back into our palace and throw our wicked king out, then we will get all our brilliant monkeys and bears together to help you find your Sita. And that is what they did. Ram helped Sugriv become the new monkey king, and Sugriv in turn called all his generals and instructed them to look north, south, east and west for Sita. And return in exactly 1 month with your reports, added Sugriv. It fell to Hanuman to accompany the bear general of the south. As he was leaving, Ram said to him, Hanuman, I have great faith in you. If you find my Sita, show her this ring. Then she will know you are my messenger. Tell her I love her, and that I will come for her soon. Ram took off his ring and handed it to Hanuman. The northern battalion searched in the snows of the Himalaya mountains and in the deep crevices where mighty rivers begin. They could not find Sita and returned in a month. The eastern battalion searched in thick bamboo forests and jungles filled with rhinoceroses. They did not find Sita and returned a month later. The western battalion searched in rice fields and rocky coves. They did not find Sita and returned a month later. The southern battalion searched through tall jackfruit trees and along meandering rivers that were lined with palms. They did not find Sita anywhere. Just as they were thinking of returning, they fell into a hole in a cave. Struggling out of it with great difficulty, they found themselves on a beach. A very discouraged Hanuman asked the bear general, We have now reached the southern tip of this land. There is nothing ahead of us but the ocean. How many days has it been since we left our king? It has been a month and a day, replied the bear general. A month and a day? This This is a disgrace. We should have been back by now. We are a day late, and what is worse, we have no good news." "Well, I don't understand what all the fuss is about," said the Bear General. "I'm exhausted." With that, he lay down on the beach, and as if commanded, the rest of the army stretched out as well. "How did all this mess get started anyway?" asked the Bear General. Hanuman, who by this time had rested his head on the bear's stomach, started to tell him the story of Ram. They were interrupted by the sudden arrival of an old vulture who could not fly too well. It landed on the sand with such a thud that it created a sandstorm and buried most of the animal soldiers up to their necks. "My dinner is all laid out for me," exclaimed the vulture, seeing all those delicious heads popping out of the sand. Hanuman, who was still telling Ram's story, had just reached the part about the Vulture King. "Why are you talking about my brother?" asked the vulture. "Oh, so he was your brother, was he?" said Hanuman, and began to tell his story all over again. As he reached the end, the vulture suddenly interrupted. "Wait a minute, I have exquisite eyesight, and I am certain that I saw Ravan taking Sita over this ocean to his kingdom of Lanka." "You did? Oh, this is sweet music to our ears. Now we can continue our search towards Lanka and find out where Sita is hidden." "But how will we cross the ocean?" asked the Bear General. "The island is supposed to be 100 leagues away." "Let us call all the apes, monkeys, chimpanzees and bears in our army and see who can leap the furthest," suggested Hanuman. "I can leap 25 leagues, said a small squirrel monkey. "I can do 35 leagues, said a black furry bear. "That's nothing. I can do 100 leagues, boasted Hanuman. "Then why don't you go? That is the exact distance required," said the Bear General. "Did I actually say I could jump 100 leagues?" asked Hanuman. "Yes. Now I am ordering you to jump." Hanuman took one look at the blue ocean. It seemed as vast as the blue sky. Then he closed his eyes, breathed deeply, crouched, and leapt into the air. And that's the end of part 4. I'll read part 5 in a last final video, but it might be quite interesting to see if you can look online or have a look in an atlas or on a globe if you've got one. Have a look at a map of India and have a look at the island, big island of Sri Lanka, which is a separate country, which is off the south east coast of India. Have a look at the size of the sea. This is what that leap is.